So 3, 2, 1, scoop it! Alright, that was pretty good. Yeah, let's do another one of these. This is gonna be the one, okay? I want you guys to act like you want to be here, okay? On 3, 2, 1. Del Rey Oaks, let's go!
Emcee, FORTAG!
Go. 3, 2, 1.
Shovel!
My name is Todd Muck, T-O-D-D, M-U-C-K, and I'm the Executive Director of the Transportation Agency for Monterey County.
So this is a pretty big project that we're unveiling today, or groundbreaking today. How long has it been in the works?
It's been in the works for about 10 years. Overall, the Fort Regional Trail and Greenway project, 28 miles of path that connects different parts of Marina down to Del Rey Oaks, Monterey, and Seaside. Over 10 years of work to get it designed, and to this point when we're going to be breaking ground on the first segment. The segment itself has probably been in the design and engineering for the last 5 years, so we're really excited to get to construction.
So now that we're starting construction, do you have a timeline for when this first segment will land?
It will take approximately 18 months to 24 months to be fully completed.
And so this will give the community more access to this, beautiful county.
It definitely. Making connections, giving people an opportunity to ride and walk in safe and comfortable environments is really one of the big goals for the Transportation Agency for Monterey County. So this segment will connect to Fremont and 218, and we're working on the next segment that goes through Laguna Grande Park that connects over to the Coastal Trail, and then having access, not having to cross the highway here to get to the Frog Pond Regional Park is a really wonderful way for the community to be able to access that resource.
And this path, is it going to be mainly for recreation, or is there a commuter aspect?
It's for all users. So it's for whatever people want to do on their biking and walking, and whether that's commuting or recreation, that's up to them.
In this master plan, you said there's several segments of it. When is there a timeline for the total completion of the project?
There's no real timeline. What we do is we break it into segments, and we go after grants to fund those segments. And we use our local Measure X sales tax measure funds as matching local money to leverage state and federal grants. So what we're really trying to do is maximize that leveraging of Measure X to fund other segments. So we have this segment going into construction. We have 2 other segments in Marina that are in design and will be in construction in the next 2 to 4 years. So we'll see more construction in the future as we continue to progress on those segments.
And so what has been the reaction from the community as you're getting closer to actually starting this long planned project?
Well, I think there's excitement now to see it get started in construction. There was some initial concerns in the community about change, and lots of people are uncomfortable with changing their environment. But the access to be able to safely cross the road and get to both sides of Del Rey Oaks, I think, has been really well received.
And then what do you hope to accomplish with this trail?
Well, this trail is the first of 28 miles, so it's a 1.5 mile segment, and our goal is to continue to get the other segments funded and developed, and also connect these segments to other parts of our regional network. So accessing the coastal trail, other safe and protected bike facilities to allow people an option to feel comfortable riding or walking anywhere they want. Have that option to get to how they want to get to work or school or just recreation.
For sure. So it just sounds like this trail is giving people more opportunities to commute around and to get around in a different way.
Definitely. Ultimately, we want a connected network of safe and comfortable routes so people of any ability feel comfortable riding their bike or walking and not feel threatened by cars on the way.
For sure. Jared, do you have any questions?
Love it. I mean, I see this as kind of the connective tissue. There's all this access and beautiful nature and different things. This is making that safe, easy, attractive. This seems like it was a long time coming to get all this together, but a very necessary component to give people access and safety on top of that.
All projects have difficult and complicated components, and this is certainly true. I mean, we're putting an undercrossing under a state highway. It is complicated, but you have to do these difficult components in order to make those connections.
My name is Fred Watson. I'm a community member and happy to be a professor at CSU in Monterey Bay.
My name is Scott Waltz, just like the dance, and I'm also a professor at Monterey Bay.
And then, what's your guys' connection with this project?
We are the co-founders of the project, so we're community members who came up with the idea and have been with it all along with big, I was going to say assist, but really it's a TAMC project now, but we're the community members that are carrying it along with TAMC.
So when did you guys first get the idea for this project?
About 10 and a half years ago, we were taking our cue from some map in the base reuse plan and some work that other community advocates have done. And Fred actually said, what if we look closely at the particulars of a possible trail here? And he started doing mapping, and we started doing hiking, and we started talking with people. And here, over 420 meetings later, we finally have the launch of the trail physically.
For sure. So you guys would just want to tell me, what is it like after literally over a decade of work, finally seeing this come to fruition, this project?
It's pretty cool. I mean, firstly, it's just going to be great. We're starting the building of it, so very soon we'll be able to use it. Everyone will be able to use it. We'll all be able to look and see our community transformed by this new way of moving around. And then it's also really encouraging to know that the whole time we've been building on the support and advice of the community of people who are here today, who were all there at the start. Everyone thought this was a good idea. Everyone still thinks it's a good idea, so it's probably a good idea.
Yeah, we'd walk in a room with some maps, meeting with somebody saying, we're thinking about a trail. They'd say, tell us about it. We would, and they'd say, well, it sounds like a good idea, but have you thought of this? And we'd go back, we'd make changes, and we'd go to the next meeting. So this is really, it's exciting because it really is the culmination of a community effort to create the design, and now we're starting the next phase, which is the actual construction of the trail.
So you can't really tell the story of the Monterey Peninsula without Fort Ord and the sort of closure of Fort Ord in the 90s. What does this project mean for the communities that were impacted with?
Yeah, that is a really good question. A lot of living in the Monterey Bay area revolves around being on the coast and near the sanctuary and all the beauty of that. And Fort Ord is a whole other half of that landscape we're in. It's a beautiful landscape. It's a very historical landscape. A lot of us live really quite close to it, and a lot of what FORTAG is about is making it so that people can experience the landscape of the former Fort Ord and the surrounding areas safely and accessibly in an active way. Where right now, that's possible for some of us, but it's not possible for everyone everywhere, and that's what we want to make possible.
Yeah, I think that there are many people who know different spots on the former Fort Ord for recreation, for enjoyment, for events. Mountain bike people are very familiar, hikers out there. But this trail, because it's 100% accessible and it connects with the local communities, should allow people to get there more easily and to get to spots they may not be aware of. There are some beautiful vistas on Fort Ord, and even people that have lived here are not fully aware of these spots, and this trail will take them right to them.
Sure, and just one other thing, there's a sort of connection here between the Monterey and the Carmel side and the Marina and the Seaside parts of Monterey County. Can you talk a little bit about how those communities will now be connected?
Yeah, good one. So we're here in Del Rey Oaks. You go inland, you're at Fort Ord, you go towards the coast and you get to the coast. And it's that connection along Canyon Del Rey that's a key aspect of what we're trying to do. Make it so that you can get to the coast from the inland communities, get to Fort Ord from the coastal communities. In other segments, we're working on making it easier to get from Seaside to Monterey. If you live in Seaside and work in Monterey, for example, there's a lot of connections that can be made between the 7 cities on Monterey Peninsula. It's all physically possible, and we're finding that it's socially and administratively and financially possible too through projects like this.
Yeah, we purposely created a trailhead as close to Salinas as possible by the river down from the Marina Airport, in hopes that that trail would extend into Salinas and then further south and maybe even further south and then into Carmel. I know that State Parks has done some work on trails down there. There are a number of projects underway. So hopefully this will be one part of a much larger trail network that we'll see all across the region.
So it's really future-proofed this kind of development. I know that Monterey County is like afraid, allergic to change, whatever you want to say, but this to me seems like a total net win for the county to bring this connective tissue that we lack so desperately. Tried and true, after a decade, you guys, here we are, fruits of your labor. Is this what it takes to bring Monterey County into the future for transportation, both safety-wise, and embrace Monterey County? A project like this?
I think we're fortunate in that some things were already there, we just kind of brought them together. So people are like, it's lovely to be on Fort Ord. And so we said, well, let's create a trail that makes it easier to get there. Or they say, we love biking out there. And so we create a route that they can not only bike for recreation, but maybe get to downtown as well as out, or maybe both in the same day. So it's, yes, but I think we're taking advantage of things that were already there. We're just sort of binding them together.
Yeah, a lot of this is about looking at the coastal rec trail. Everyone loves the coastal rec trail, right? And saying, well, can we have more of that? Can we have it make a loop so it's not an out and back trip? Can we get into Fort Ord and connect it all together, you know? So the idea's been there, it's been actually implemented in examples like the coastal rec trail, and we just want that to be everywhere, because it's really active transportation should be part of everything we do in planning and growing a community.
Well, welcome. Thank you for joining us here on this fantastic occasion for kicking off this project. My name is Todd Muck. I'm the Executive Director of the Transportation Agency for Monterey County, and I will be your MC today. Thank you. It's hard to express how excited I am for this project, having worked on it from its beginning with Fred Scott and going through all the trials and tribulations of getting the project approved, getting it funded, getting through design, and now here we are for construction. So it's really phenomenal for me to be here and share it with all of you. I'd like to start by inviting Dave Potter up to the podium. Dave is TAMC's first vice chair, and he's also the mayor of Carmel. So he'll talk a little bit about TAMC and Measure X.
Thank you, Todd. Did everybody see me? I'm trying to stand up here. First of all, I want to say what a pleasure it is to be here. This is my 30th year as a member of the Transportation Agency. Been around here for a while, but it's fun. And really, when you stand up and look at what this says over here, plan, fund, build. Today we've got the 2 steps done we're going to build today. It's an incredible opportunity to go ahead and do what we need to do, which is unite this community by trails. We've got had an opportunity to do this before, but this is the best one ever. I want to thank everybody for being here today. I want to thank how much a pleasure it is to be here, honestly. I love this town, I love this city, but honestly, when you talk about Del Rey Oaks, it's a chance to connect Del Rey Oaks with the rest of the peninsula. We've had an opportunity to go through the frog pond, everything. It's about time. So I want to thank the leadership of the TAMC board. I want to thank the leadership of Del Rey Oaks. I want to thank everybody here for taking the time today to say, let's do this, let's build it, let's get it going. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dave. If Scott Donaldson, Mayor for Del Rey Oaks, could join us.
Thank you, Todd. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Del Rey Oaks. You know, this is the largest project that our city will see and has seen in many decades. It's going to cost around $20 million, and to kind of give you a perspective on that, that's about 4 times our city's annual budget, and it's roughly what Measure X generates on an annual basis. It's a complex project involving many jurisdictions, and it'll take about 2 years to complete. But I'm confident that our partners will deliver what they've promised to the city. And now most of you know there's been a lot of emotion and energy associated with this project. But now it's time to move on to the construction phase. And we kind of got a taste of that, as you can see behind me, with the relocation of our utilities that's been happening over the past several months. We've been told that the work will happen during the daytime, and I ask for everyone's patience during construction. As we enter the next phase, the city is focused on minimizing the disruption, and that will require good communications with all of our partners and keeping the city informed of what's going on. And I encourage everyone to utilize the Del Rey Oaks City website to get the latest information. Now, moving forward, I'm optimistic about the benefits that this project can bring to the city and the region, and I remain cognizant of the challenges and the concerns expressed by many residents. But ultimately, I'm hopeful that this will be a welcomed addition to the city and one that we can all be proud of. Thank you all for being here today.
Thank you, Scott. Well, we're here in Del Rey Oaks, but this project also touches into Seaside, and I'd like to invite Mayor Ian Oglesby up to the podium.
Thank you, Todd. Good afternoon. What a wonderful day to be outside and celebrate the groundbreaking of the 1.5 mile span in the beautiful city of Del Rey Oaks. I want to make sure I say, where's the mayor at? Where is he?
Thank you for that, Ian.
This project is a testament to the shared vision and hard work of many dedicated individuals. I want to extend my thanks to Professor Fred Watson and Scott Waltz. For their shared vision of a trail connecting our communities surrounding the former Fort Ord. Connecting our communities, not just the ones surrounding Fort Ord, but with the wider peninsula. I think most of you guys understand the full complexity and vision for the FORTAG trail. And after its completion, it would be so wonderful. So I just want to thank them for their dedication, and it's truly inspiring. A special thanks to the TAMC board, especially our long-term members and staff, for making sure these projects are designed in a way that is a shared vision with the community and fits in with what the residents want. Not what the TAMC board wants, but what the residents of each of these communities want. And I want to thank the board and our executive director for their leadership and his team. Give Todd a hand if you could, please. FORTAG is more than just a trail, in my opinion. It will become a lifeline that will provide safe routes to educational institutions, workplaces, community centers, and recreational opportunities. It will become one of the region's best connections to open space, serving walkers, cyclists, hikers alike. FORTAG will play a critical role in reducing vehicle miles traveled, helping to address the climate change. I say congratulations to each and every one of you that worked so hard over the decades to see this come to fruition, particularly with this phase here. And I'm just so proud to be standing with you today, and I look forward to our span in Seaside in the years to come. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Ian. Next, I'd like to invite Dr. Kevin Raskoff, the board president for Monterey Peninsula Regional Park District.
Thanks to all the other speakers. On behalf of the Monterey Peninsula Regional Park District, I just want to sort of welcome you to this amazing event. I want to just special appreciation to some of our other board members, Monta Potter, who's here, as well as our general manager, Rafael Payan, and several really valuable staff members that came down to celebrate this momentous occasion. For me, I think about all the different entities that had to come together to make this a reality, right? And decades plus that it took for all of these entities to come together, from individuals into cities, which we heard about with our previous mayor's speeches, but all the different agencies, and then of course all the state and federal funding that had to come from a myriad of sources. And here's TAMC weaving it all together for us. So it's, for me, this is just a celebration on the power of connected individuals bringing something together that's bigger than what any one entity could ever hope to achieve by themselves. And that's, I think, a special thing. Just from the Park District perspective, we manage and own the Frog Pond, which is behind me there. We also, in cooperation with our partners, the cities of Seaside and Monterey, own and operate Laguna Grande. So we have two large recreational opportunities that have a difficult connection between them, right? Going down Highway 218 or some of the others are challenging at best, we'll say, right? As a resident of Del Rey Oaks myself, transitioning from one side of town to the other across 218 has always been a challenge. And so this project is going to bring so many benefits to that connectedness, right? Connecting eventually the coastal recreation trail into Laguna Grande, into Del Rey Oaks, through Del Rey Oaks, and into Frog Pond, and then with future legs, right, into Fort Ord and up to Marina and beyond, right? So it's sort of the first step of such an exciting regional network that is not just benefiting the humans, which I think we're all sort of focusing on today, but from the park perspective, a lot of wildlife, a lot of native species that are going to be planted, a lot of invasive species removed. Wildlife crossings are going to be improved with some of the underpasses, et cetera, that have been planned. So just a lot of really exciting things coming. And then just in closing, I wanted to just spend a moment to personally and publicly thank these two gentlemen here, Dr. Fred Watson and Dr. Scott Watt. Scott, I had this great quote that I've been thinking about all week long that I planned on saying, and then I read the weekly article, and you used it yesterday. So, but to the benefit of those that didn't read the weekly article yet, a quote that's often attributed to Margaret Mead: "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed individuals can change the world. In fact, it's the only thing that ever has." It's just been running through my brain all week long preparing for today's events. And I just think of you and Fred both being the nucleus of such a grand idea, right? 400 plus meetings, over a decade of your volunteer hours. I suggest never try to calculate what you've actually spent on this. But I just want to publicly here celebrate with everyone else just the incredible outcome that we've come to today, and to see the fruits of all those years of labor, and just how excited we all are. And so, thanks so much.
Thank you. And that actually is a great segue to ask Fred Scott to come up here and say a few words.
Increasingly, communities across California are embracing the benefits of active transportation. And Fred and I are very proud to be working with TAMC to support more folks going further by walking and biking. I mean, we live in this remarkably beautiful region, and we're really glad that FORTAG is going to be able to play a role as a route, not just as a destination. And our hope is that FORTAG will contribute to healthier, better connected, and even more sustainable communities in Monterey County. And safer communities too. This phase 1 segment will allow kids and families to safely cross 218 to enjoy park and pond. It'll provide a protected path for neighborhood elementary children to walk to school. Del Rey Oaks will gain an improved path through Work Memorial Park and onto the Fremont Retail District. And ultimately, the trail will connect with bike routes chartered by both Monterey and Seaside, so that folks can safely ride the coastal parks and beaches. I don't think it's too much to say that this project is really about making transformational connections, connecting communities to and through the open spaces that surround us, and connecting those communities together. It's about creating places where things make sense. where the natural routes through the landscape can be traveled safely and are accessible to everybody. It's about doing things the right way, even if it's not the easy way.
You know, what's really cool about this is that it takes a tremendous number of people to get on the same page, representing a tremendous number of organizations in order to pull something like this off. And that's what has happened for the last 10 years, and looking around right now, it's still happening. There's a lot of people here from a lot of different organizations. A lot of you have been a very active part of making this happen. Some from the very start, some relatively recently. We're all there, organization at the start, and we're all still here now. So we must be onto something good. Everyone has their own story about coming to appreciate trail systems and regional trails. You find yourself on a great trail and you're like, this is cool. You know, I would like to have this where I live. For me, a lot of that started when my daughter was just getting old enough to bike around a bit. We tried some bike trips near our local community, and it was a little difficult. Sometimes, in some cases it was impossible, in a lot of cases it was just frankly unsafe. And that was also true for my invalid mother, it's true for my disabled brother. And we thought, it doesn't really have to be like that, there's lots of space here. You know, maybe we could come up with some kind of solution. And Scott and I got together around about that time, and we sort of started lobbying for a solution, and eventually realized it was kind of bigger than most of the organizations that we were lobbying to, and we kind of needed to take it on ourselves and make it a project, draw out the map, give it a name, and then start shopping around that project to anyone who would listen. And about 70 organizations later, everyone thought it was a good idea. And we refined it to make sure it was a good idea for every perspective that everybody represents. Crucially, TAMC thought it was a good idea. And I mean Debbie Hale and Todd Muck, the general manager at the time, and the new general manager, and the board of TAMC. And back then it seemed like we'd been in it for quite a while when TAMC took it on. But looking back, they've been there the whole time. This is a TAMC project, and it really couldn't have happened any other way, because TAMC is the only organisation that can transcend all the jurisdictions and solve all those interjurisdictional challenges. In many ways, today's the beginning. We're just starting to build this thing, but we have been at it for 10 years, and I just want to thank a number of individual people that have been a crucial, essential component of the whole thing. And the people I'm going to mention here represent all sorts of facets of the project. Firstly, FORTAG is happening because the mayors got on the same page. And I'm talking about Rich Delgado, Dave Potter, Scott Donaldson, Ian Oglesby, Jerry Edelin, I saw somewhere, thank you, Alison Kerr, all on the same page about this project, saying, yeah, this is a good idea. Those mayors are the TAMC board. They've supported the project the whole way through. Thank you. A number of other elected officials have played key roles. I'm going to name several. Ed Smith from Monterey, Kim Shirley, and Bill Ragsdale Cronin from Del Rey Oaks, Jason Campbell's here, Dave Pacheco, Alan Huffer, Gail Morton, Shane Anderson, Kevin Raskoff, Nick Smoke, thank you, Kelly Sorensen, Lonnie Potter, Kathleen Lee. It's a long list, but all the people we're naming here have trodden the dirt that will be the FORTAG Trail, know it personally, and have represented that in the bodies that they govern. Leading active figures within the sustainability community: Margaret Davis, Kathy Rivera, Kay Klein, Nikki Nedev, Rachel Saunders, Karen Harris, Patrice Vecchioni, Mike DeLappa, Rita D'Alessio, Dave Schmaltz, Catherine Crockett, Brian Lenev, Leo Book, Amanda Priest, Tanya Ruse, somewhere I saw, Darius Reich. Thank you for representing your organizations in our meetings and discussions and tours, helping us figure out what makes this work for everybody. Absolutely nothing happens in any of these cities unless you've got the active support of your city manager and your district managers. And so we want to thank Dino Pick, Raphael Payan, who's here, Jeff Hoyne, who's now up in Washington, John Dunn, formerly from Seaside, John Gurden's here, of course, Craig Malin, Lane Long, and staff like Gloria Stearns, Karen Manami's down the back somewhere, Kane Camarillo, crucial role at a crucial meeting. Thank you, Jackie Nelson, also the same. Tim Jensen, long since retired from Park District, and Jake Smith, now at the Park District. Thank you. The engine right in the middle of this, making it happen every day, all day, or every week, every month, every year, is the TAMC staff. And we've worked very, very closely with them for a long time. And they're just an outstanding organisation made up of outstanding individuals with a really true, deep commitment to the work they do. You could phone this kind of stuff in and maybe get something done, but they do way more than that, and they really get good work done. Todd, thank you so much. Rich Deal, retired. Mike Zella is here. Teresa Wright, Ariana Green, Stefania Castillo, Virginia Murillo, Madeline Jacobson, Yannicka Strauss, Doug Bills I saw, Laurie Williamson's here, Amelia Conlon, Christina Watson I saw. I'm probably forgetting a few, but thank you very much to the TAMC. In the last few years in particular, we've, as a community, have just been really, really lucky to have worked with one of the nation's top engineering firms. I feel like it's with engineering firms, you don't always get people who, they must be, I don't know how they're billing it, but they must be working double time to make this happen with deep competency and creativity and resilience when we just constantly throw these curveballs at them, the challenges of our community, the regulations of our community, and they keep on coming up with new engineering solutions to finally get to the solution we have, the solutions we will continue to have. And so I really want to thank, in particular, GHD, Lindsay Van Paris, Steve Grupico, Shannon Otto, and Lucas Piper, who are here. Thank you very much. More to come. Everything so far is deeply appreciated. And other consulting firms and engineering firms, Rich Weber is here, Candy Ingram is here. You don't often hear the names of the people in these firms and the consultancies who do this work. And Scott and I have been really fortunate to have a front row seat to the process of government and construction and design and engineering and all that. And it's really inspirational to see how good a job they can do and have done. I've left one big name out, Debbie Hale, by far the most central figure in all of this. She's in Singapore this morning. She sent us an email from Singapore. She retired a little while ago, but she, along with Todd, took this on in 2014, and they really have kept it glued together the whole time. It's a very complicated project with a lot of organisations. They've kept it on the front burner the whole time, and it's a thing because of Debbie and Todd. A real, official, approved, funded, permitting, and in a few moments comes shovel thing. And that will be a positive legacy that we all leave to future generations. It's the work of all these people that is what it takes to retrofit a region like ours with 30 miles of infrastructure enabling safe, accessible, active transportation and equitable access to open space. And that's what we're doing here today.
All right, we can't top that. Thank you, Fred and Scott. To wrap it up today, we're going to grab some shovels and go turn a little bit of dirt.
3, 2, 1, scoop it! Alright, that was pretty good. Yeah, let's do another one of these. This is going to be the one, okay? I want you guys to act like you want to be here, okay? On 3, 2, 1. Del Rey Oaks, let's go!
Emcee! FORTAG!
3, 2, 1.
Shovel!